Things got a little spooky in the third episode of High School Musical, the series when Gina and Ricky take an adventure through the woods together. At the start of the episode 3, Gina tries to wake Courtney up early in the morning, but the only thing that gets her moving is the news that she'll be playing Elsa in the Frozen musical. Ashlyn, who recently finished her starring role as Belle, is a part of the ensemble. Though a little surprised, Ashlyn makes an effort to ignore it. Edge will play Sven in the musical even though he is directing it. Maddox criticizes Carlos for attempting to change the show's cast. Maddox is more cunning than Carlos. They will all be spending the night in the woods because it is newcomer night, Maddox informs. Ashlyn is obviously uncomfortable with merely being a member of the group at the girls' cabin. Ashlyn goes into a tailspin when Maddox questions whether Ashlyn is a Leo rising as opposed to a Capricorn rising. Gina's cabin receives flowers from Edge as a kind gesture to honor her taking the lead. They're adorable. Edge is lost in thought as Gina blathers on and on about how thrilled she is. Before Corbin Bleu returns, he needs to dissect the script, but he doesn't have much time. Edge states, "I don't want to let the Chad down." Even though Ashlyn claims to be a feminist, she isn't the biggest fan of Val and Maddox. Gina acknowledges that she didn't anticipate Ashlyn's reaction to being cast in the ensemble to be this negative. Gina comments that it feels out of character, which causes Ashlyn to begin to wonder if she really is a Capricorn rising. Ashlyn accepts Maddox's apology for crossing the line, but she won't let go of the idea that Ashlyn has a little Leo in her. Ricky discovers a table with souvenirs and Twizzlers in the middle of the woods as night falls. When Jed appears, Ricky asks him how he learned to sing. Jed admits that he taught himself to sing and play the piano. As Edge performs the Ballad of Shallow Lake in between screenplay revisions, the group gathers around him. The tale of the woman in the woods is then told by Maddox. Jet begins making jokes, which confuses Maddox. She flees into the woods in a rage. Carlos and Courtney find themselves stranded in the middle of the forest by themselves. When Carlos goes off, Courtney exclaims, "Carlos, I can't be the first to die." Carlos scares Courtney with Ricky because he doesn't take her worries seriously. He then makes a visit by Edge's tent and talks about the shrine he discovered. Gina walks in and demands to know everything. "It's the creepiest sight Ricky has ever seen," he says. Edge is too overwhelmed to join them while they investigate, despite Gina's best efforts. He emphasizes, "I have a lot on my plate." The hint is picked up by Gina, and everyone leaves. Together, Gina and Ricky venture into the woods, where there is clearly some flirtation. Ricky occasionally places Gina's hand over his heart. Every female has experienced and can identify with the expression on Gina's face at that very moment. "People, I don't set the rules." They hear a voice in the woods suddenly. They make the decision to defy every horror film convention and follow the sound. Ashlyn is the one to find a piano by accident and perform a fantastic solo. A nice day is any day that Julia Lester gets to sing her little heart out. When Gina and Ricky enter, Ashlyn is engrossed in her own little world. There are many screams from everyone since they were all in shock that Ashlyn was the voice. Gina attempts to hide behind Ricky even more. Jet runs across Maddox as she is visiting the shrine on her own. He expresses regret for his behavior while she was narrating her story. Jet and Maddox are actually siblings, so she is not pleased to see him. To Gina and Ricky, Ashlyn confesses that she believed the Corbin Bleu television program would be her big break. Now, she believes Gina's big break might actually be this. Gina glances Ricky's way for a split second, but he's already focusing on her. Ricky expresses his delight to Gina that she has been given the lead. Carlos and Edge are finally located by Courtney. Carlos informs them that Ricky and Gina are 100% missing, and they find out that Corbin will be arriving earlier than usual. Edge has a worried expression on his face that has nothing to do with the fact that his girlfriend has vanished. Edge, stop thinking so much. Edge responds, "I'm sure Ricky and Gina are okay," and then he leaves. Ricky informs Gina that he had a blast tonight as they return to their tents in the meantime.